high call series.
So, hi children, good morning. In the previous episode, we have discussed the reproduction in animals. That is, different types of reproduction in animals. Mainly, we have learned about two types of methods of reproduction in animals. That means, some animals will reproduce by giving directly birth to their young babies, whereas some animals will reproduce by laying eggs. So, for example, the fishes, the reptiles, and also some insects, so will reproduce by laying eggs, whereas some animals like mammals, that is lions, tigers, cows, and some of the animals will reproducing by giving directly birth to their young babies. And also we have discussed the different stages in the life cycles of insects, that is the life cycles of frog, and a life cycle of a fish, and a life cycle of a cockroach. So different stages we have discussed in the previous episodes in the previous chapter. So now in this episode, we are going to discuss the next chapter, that is lesson number 5, food and digestion. So children, in this chapter, we are going to learn about what are the substances which keep our body very healthy and fit. So what are the substances we have to take in our food to keep our body very healthy and fit, and what are the examples for the food materials having that substances. And also we are going to learn about what is the digestion and how the food will be digested and how the nutrients will be absorbed by our body and how we will get energy from the food we have eaten. So children, so these are the different topics now we are going to learn in this chapter, food and digestion. So the first part of the chapter is about food. That is, so what type of food we have to take in and what type of substances that our food should contain. And whereas in the second part of our lesson, we are going to learn about digestion, what is the digestion, how our food will be digested, and how we will get energy from the digested food. So now let us go to the first part of this chapter, that is about food. So we are going to learn about what is food. So children, we have discussed in the previous classes that all living organisms should eat food. So all the living organisms need food. So why we need food? So all the living organisms like human being also an example for the living organism. So what are the examples for the living organisms? All the animals and all the plants, all the birds and including human beings are also come under living organisms. And all these living organisms need food. So why we need food? So because every day we will do various type of activities, we will do some various type of, and we will perform different types of activities in our daily life from the beginning of the time where we wake up in the early morning and up to the time we will go to bed during the night. So we will do various type of activities and various type of perform different type of activities in our daily life. So that's why we will need energy to perform various activities. So how did they get energy? So how did we get energy? So from where we get energy? So all the living organisms will get energy from the food. So children, so where we get energy? So where do we get energy? So we will get energy from the food. So when we eat food, so we will get energy. By using that energy, we are going to perform and we will perform different types of activities in our life. So that's why children, so we should eat a good food. So we have to eat a good food to keep our body very healthy and fit. So whenever we are healthy, then we will do various type of activities in a proper way, in a speedy. So that's why children remember, so we have to eat a good food. So we have to eat a good food. So this good food will keep our body very healthy and fit. So children, so what is the good food? So what is the meaning of the good food? So every day we will eat different types of food items during our breakfast, during our lunch, and during our dinner. So every day we will eat different types of food items, and also every day we will eat different types of fruits during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But remember, children, the food we eat should contain some substances. So those substances will keep our body very healthy and fit. So what is the good food? So the good food means the food we eat daily should contain some substances. So children, so the food we eat daily should contain some substances. So these substances will keep our body very healthy and fit, and these substances are called nutrients. So children, these substances are called nutrients. So what are nutrients? So nutrients are those substances which are present in our food daily we eat are called nutrients, and these nutrients will keep our body very healthy and strong. So what are nutrients? So let us see examples for the nutrients, and let us see the list of nutrients that our food should contain. So we should take care, and we have to choose those food items which contains these nutrients. So otherwise, if our food does not contain these nutrients, there will be no use to our body whenever you eat that food. So that's why every day we have to eat that food only which contain nutrients, and these nutrients will help our body to grow strong and to make our body very fit. So let us see what are the nutrients. So what are the nutrients? Let us see some of the nutrients that should be contained in our food. So some of the nutrients are, the first one is carbohydrates. So children, carbohydrates. So carbohydrates. And the second one is, so children, fats. The second one is fats. And next one is proteins. And another one is vitamins. And the fifth type of nutrients are minerals. And the sixth type of nutrients are roughage. So children, so these are the nutrients. So our food should contain the nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and roughage. So these are called nutrients. So these are called nutrients. So these are called nutrients. So children, what are nutrients? So nutrients are the substances so in which the food contains. So nutrients are those substances which are present in our food and makes our body very healthy and fit. And some of the nutrients and examples for the nutrients are, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and roughage. So children, so these nutrients will keep our body very healthy and very helpful to our body to grow strong and fit. So that's why every day we have to take food which contains these nutrients. So we should prefer those food items so which contains these nutrients only. So now let us discuss about each one of the nutrients and what are the examples for the food items having carbohydrates, and also what are the examples for the food items having fats, and what food items we have to take to give proteins, and which type of food items gives vitamins, and which type of food items give minerals, and which type of food items give roughage. So let us see about each one of the nutrients. The first type is carbohydrates. The first type is carbohydrates. So children, what are the first type of nutrients? Carbohydrates. So children, what are carbohydrates? So carbohydrates are known as energy giving substances or energy giving food. So energy giving food items. So these are called energy giving foods. So energy giving foods, because these food items, so these nutrients will give energy for our body. So by using that energy, we can do various types of activities in our daily life. So that's why these carbohydrates are known as energy giving foods. And what are the examples for the carbohydrates? So what are the examples for the food items having carbohydrates? And examples are, so the examples for the food items having carbohydrates are rice. So rice, wheat, and children next potato, and sugar, honey, and bread, and children. So these are, and also banana. So children, if you take banana, one of the fruit, so banana, etc. So these are the examples, some examples for the food items which have carbohydrates. So these substances will have carbohydrates, and whenever we eat these substances, these food items will give us carbohydrates to our body. So children, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are energy giving foods. So these foods will give us carbohydrates, and these food items will give us energy to our body. By using that energy, we will perform various types of activities in our daily life. So children, so that's why whenever you are weak, that means whenever you are fall sick, whenever you get a fever or whenever you are falling sick, and whenever you are feeling weak, then you have to eat these carbohydrates to get energy. So that's why most of the sports persons and most of the sports persons and who will play games and sports, generally they will become weak and they will lose energy because of their continuous pain. So that's why they will take these carbohydrates to get instant energy and to play games very well. So whenever we feel weak and whenever we want energy immediately, so we have to take these food items. So because these food items contains carbohydrates and these food items gives energy to our body, so we are very active because of this energy, and we can perform various types of activities in our daily life. And next, see the second type of nutrients. So what are the second type of nutrients? The second type of nutrients are fats. So let us see the second type. So children, the second type of nutrients are fats. So children, what are fats? Fats are also known as energy giving foods. So fats are also known as energy giving foods. So both fats and carbohydrates are known as energy giving foods. So carbohydrates are also known as energy giving foods, and fats are also known as energy giving foods because these fats also gives energy for our body like carbohydrates. But whereas these fats will give more energy than carbohydrates and also give some heat energy to our body. So these fats will give more energy and heat. So they will give more energy and heat to our body. So that's why if you eat these fats substances, these substances will keep your body warm. So children, these substances will keep your body warm. So why? Because these fats not only give energy, but also they give some heat. They will produce some heat energy in our body. So that's why these fats will keep our body warm. So during winter season, so children, during winter season, the temperature is very low. That is, there will be very cold temperatures. So during that winter season, our body should be kept warm. So that's why, so if you eat these fat items, so if you eat the food items having fats, then these food items will keep your body warm during the winter seasons. And children, what are the examples for the food items having fats? The examples for the food items having fats are, that is, ghee, butter, and also cooking oil. So cooking oil and some nuts. So children, what are nuts? So what are the examples for nuts? So nuts are, that is, peanuts and cashew nuts and almonds. So children, these are the some dry fruits. So most of the dry fruits will have fats. They are very rich source of fats. So generally, so nuts and also so children, ghee, butter, cooking oil, nuts, and these are the examples for the food items which will give fats to our body. So these substances are also called as energy giving foods, and they will give more energy and heat than carbohydrates. That's why these food items are called richest source of energy. So richest source of energy, and these fats will keep our body warm because these food items produces energy and also heat in our body. And examples for the fats are ghee, butter, cooking oil, nuts like peanuts, cashew nuts, and also almonds, and etc. So children, so remember, these fats should not be eaten more. So if you eat excess of fats, then there will be a chance of then you will become very fat, and there will be a chance of getting obesity, and it will causes a lot of diseases like heart attack. So children, that's why remember, so we have to eat these food substances. So we have to eat these fats up to a sufficient amount, and we should not eat very too much of fats, that is excess of fats. So if we eat excess of fats or if we eat very too much fats, then our body will become fat, and it will lead to obesity, and this obesity will causes different diseases like a heart attack and hypertension. So these are the examples. So children, that's why we have to eat these fats up to a sufficient amount, but not we should not eat excess of fats, because it will causes fat our body, it will causes obesity on our body, which will causes lot of diseases. So now see the third type of nutrients, that are proteins. Children, the third type of nutrients are proteins. So what are proteins? Whereas carbohydrates and fats are known as energy giving foods. So these proteins can be called as bodybuilding foods. So children, these proteins can be called as bodybuilding foods. So these proteins are called as bodybuilding foods. Why? Because these proteins are very helpful to our body to grow tall and strong. So these proteins will help our body. So will help our body to grow strong, to help our body to grow tall and strong. to grow tall and strong. And these proteins will help our body to keep our body very fit and strong, and also these proteins will help our body to grow and also to become very strong. That's why these foods are called bodybuilding foods. And what are the examples for the foods having proteins? So which type of foods will contain proteins? So for example, so the food items like meat, so children, meat and fish, and also some nuts like pulses. Pulses like children, pulses means grains, and pulses and beans and soya beans and egg, milk. So children, so these are some examples for the food items which will give proteins to our body. And also nuts also. So children, if you take nuts, so nuts means, so that means the dry fruits like cashew nuts, peanuts and almonds, walnuts. So some of the nuts so will give also proteins to our body. So children, so that's why what are proteins? So proteins are known as bodybuilding foods. So bodybuilding. So we can grow our body and we can build our body by using these proteins. So if we eat the food items having proteins, then our body will grow tall and our body will become strong. So that's why these food items are called as bodybuilding foods. And these proteins will help our body to grow tall and strong. And examples for the food items having proteins are meat, that means like chicken and mutton. So that is called meat, and fish, pulses. So children, pulses means like red gram, green gram, yellow gram. So all these pulses contains proteins, and beans, soya beans, eggs, milk, and all the nuts like cashew nuts and peanuts and walnuts, almonds. So all these nuts will give proteins to our body, and these are very helpful to our body to grow strong and to become tall. So that's why children, so these proteins are very essential for the children. So these are very essential to the kids. Essential to kids and children. It means to kids means the small young babies. So young children. Young children. Kids and young children, because so children, so if the kids and young children will eat these proteins at the age of their young, that is when they are childhood, so these proteins help their bodies to grow strong and to grow tall. So that's why these proteins are very helpful and very essential for the kids and young children, because at their age, their body should grow. Their body should grow tall and their body should become strong. So that's why these proteins are very helpful and essential to the kids and young children than adults. So if the children and kids does not eat proteins sufficiently, then their body will become weak and their body does not grow properly, and it will causes malnutrition. The children, so if you observe some of the children, so they are seen very weak and they are very lean and thin. So why the some children observe very weak and very lean and thin? Because lack of nutrient food. That means the lack of proteins in their food. So some of the poor children so does not buy and does not bear this type of costly item. That means meat and fish and these nuts and egg milk are very costly, and they cannot buy and they cannot bear such large amounts to eat their food. So children, that's why so most of the poor children will see very weak, very thin and very lean because of lack of these proteins in their foods. So that's why children, so all the children and young children and all the kids should eat their proteins to become strong and to grow their body tall and strong. So this is about the proteins. So next see the next type of nutrients that are vitamins. So children, the next type of nutrients are the vitamins. These vitamins are called as protective foods. So these vitamins are called as protective foods. So whereas carbohydrates and fats are known as energy giving foods and proteins are known as body building foods and whereas vitamins are known as protective foods. So why these vitamins are called as protective foods? That means these vitamins will protect us from many diseases. And so these vitamins are helpful to our body in many ways. So these vitamins are helpful to our body. So children, so these vitamins are very helpful to our body in many ways. And these vitamins will protect our body from the diseases, from various types of diseases. So these substances will protect our body from diseases. So whereas, so most of the diseases will be protected by these vitamins. That's why we should eat that food only which contains vitamins. So if you eat that food which having vitamins, then most of the diseases will not take place and that food will prevent us from most of the diseases. So these vitamins will protect our body from diseases. That's why these vitamins are known as protective foods. So what are the diseases? Generally these food items protect our body from various diseases like eye diseases, children eye diseases and skin diseases and also body aches, different types of body aches, etc. So children, so these vitamins will protect our body from various diseases like eye diseases, skin diseases, body aches, etc. So if you eat that food which have a plenty of vitamins will protect our body from the diseases. So that's why these food items, so these vitamins are known as protective foods. And what are the examples for the food items having proteins? So which food items gives us proteins? So children, which food items gives us proteins? So which food items we have to eat to get proteins to our body? So most of the vegetables. So children, most of the leafy vegetables and fruits and milk, eggs. So children, vegetable, fruits and milk, eggs and also chicken. That means flesh. That means meat. So and also cereals. So children, cereals. So all these food items gives us vitamins. So that's why children, every day you have to eat a plenty of fruits and plenty of vegetables. So if you eat the vegetables and a plenty of fruits in every day, then you will get vitamins to your body and these vitamins will protect your body from various diseases. So these are another type of nutrients called vitamins. So now let us see the next type of nutrients, that is minerals. Children, the next type of nutrients are minerals. So these minerals are also helpful to our body to function normally. So as to function normally or so as to function in a proper way, our body, so we should also require minerals. So we should also eat those foods having minerals. And these minerals are very helpful in growth and development of So these are very helpful in growth and development of bones and also teeth and also new blood cells. So new blood cells. The children, minerals are also very helpful to our body to function normally, and also these minerals are helpful in growth and development of bones and also teeth and also new blood cells. So children, so our body contains different types of bones and so many bones in our body. And we will become strong and we will do various type of activities actively whenever our bones are strong. So that's why, so if your bones are very strong, then you are automatically very strong and you can bear any injuries and you can do any type of activities. So that's why first your bones should be strong. So your bones should be strong when only your food contain minerals. In the same way, teeth also. So every day you will eat different types of food items and you will chew that food item with the help of your teeth. So if you have no teeth, then you cannot able to chew and you cannot able to eat the food. That's why your bones and teeth should be strong. So then only you will be strong and you can do various type of activities. So to become your bones and teeth very strong, you should eat those food items which gives minerals to your body. So which food items gives you minerals? So those food items which gives minerals are, for example, milk. So children, milk also contains minerals. So not only proteins, not only vitamins, not only carbohydrates, the milk also contains minerals and also cereals. So cereals means children, so like wheat, rice. So this eating vegetables, that eating grains are called rice grains. So cereals means rice grains like wheat and rice, maize, all these are cereals. The cereals contains minerals and also children, so vegetables. So some of the vegetables also contains minerals. So etc. So these are the examples for the food items which gives minerals to our body, and these minerals are very helpful in growth of our bones and strong. So whenever there is no growth in your bones, your body does not grow as per your age. If you observe some children and if you observe some persons, so their growth is not in a proper way according to their age. So their age increases, but their bones does not increases, and we does not observe a proper growth in their bones, and we did not observe proper development in their bones. That's why their body does not become loose, and they are become very weak and very lean and very thin. In the same way, so some of the children will lose their teeth. So we have to eat these minerals to grow and to become strong, and for the development of bones and teeth, and also for the development of new blood cells in your body. So children, the minerals are very important in your food. That's why you have to take that food which gives us minerals to your body. So examples for the food items which gives you minerals are milk, cereals and vegetables. So children, so this milk contains all the nutrients. So carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins and minerals. So that's why this milk is called as a complete food. So this milk is called as a complete food, and it can also be called as a balanced food and a nutrient food, because this milk gives all the nutrients required to your body. So if you drink milk at least 2 glasses or 3 glasses per day, then your body will get all the nutrients required to your body. That is, this milk gives you proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins and all the minerals will be given to your body if you drink milk. So children, remember, so those children, so children especially should drink the milk at least 2 glasses of milk every day, because this milk is a complete food. It contains all the nutrients, and it is a best food, and it is also called a balanced food. That's why we have to take milk every day. So not only the children, so the persons of any age can drink the milk every day, because it will give us most of the nutrients required to our body. And children, so the next type of nutrients are roughage. So roughage. Children, what is roughage? So roughage are the substances which are obtained from the foods of plants. That means from the vegetables and from the fruits. So some of the vegetables and some of the fruits will give us roughage. So children, what is roughage? So roughage are those substances which are obtained from the foods of the plants, like vegetables and fruits, and also some of the grains. So some of the grains, that is cereals, are also contains roughage. And children, so what is the use of this roughage? So this roughage is very helpful in easy digestion of the food and in the proper digestion of the food. So that's why we should eat those food items that contains roughage in our diet. So if you eat this roughage, so if you eat that food items which contains roughage, then there will be a proper digestion and there will be a easy digestion. So children, and this roughage also removes the waste material in your body. So this roughage will remove waste materials in our body. So removes waste materials. So waste materials in our body. So that's why children, so roughage is a very, very important in our food materials. So we have to take that food items which contains roughage. So if you eat, that's why you have to eat a plenty of fruits every day. So if you eat fruits and vegetables daily, then the roughage will be supplied to your body, and this roughage will helps a proper digestion and an easy digestion of the food. And some are suffered with constipation, and that constipation will be reduced if you eat the vegetables and fruits and cereals. So the food you should eat contains roughage. It helps for proper digestion and reduces constipation, and also it removes waste materials in our body. So children, the examples for the food materials which will give us roughage are vegetables, fruits and cereals, etc. So children, so these are the nutrients we have discussed in this chapter. So that's why we should eat the food which contains all the nutrients. So daily we will eat different types of food items, and we should take care. The food we eat daily should contain all these nutrients. So if the food you eat does not contain all these nutrients, then you will become a lack of nutrient. That means you will become malnutrition and you will get some diseases. That's why you should take care. The food you eat daily should contains all these nutrients. And if you eat that food which gives these nutrients, then your body become very healthy and very strong and fit. And children, not only nutrients, and there will be one more thing you have to take, that is water. So children, so you have to take water along with these different types of food items. So what is water and how much water you have to drink? The next one is water, children. So not only it is not sufficient to eat the food which contain all nutrients. So along all the nutrients, your body should provide water also. So if you does not drink sufficient water, then the food will not be digested properly and causes some digestional problems, and also it leads to diseases. So that's why everyone should drink water sufficiently required for your body. So generally, the 60 to 70% of our body will made up of with water. So our body is comprises of nearly 60 to 70% of water. And also children, we should drink water sufficiently for the proper digestion, because this water will help us in the proper digestion of the food, and this water will also helpful in different ways in our body. So this water, so children, helps in digestion, helps in proper digestion. If you does not drink water sufficiently, the digestion does not take place in a proper way. And also, it helps in, if you drink water sufficiently, so it will remove the waste. So the water will helps in removing waste materials, to sweat, in removing waste materials. So if you did not drink water, the waste materials will be remain in your body, and those waste materials will cause a lot of diseases in your body. That's why the waste materials should be sent out in a proper time every day. Otherwise, those waste materials will be stagnated in your body and causes a lot of diseases. That's why children, whenever you drink a sufficient water, this water helps in send outing waste materials from your body and also helps in proper digestion. So that's why children, it is better to drink every day 6 to 8 glasses of water. So children, remember, so you have to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. So this is about water. So that's why along with all the nutrients, you have to drink water sufficiently for your body. So if you provide sufficient water to your body, then there will be a proper digestion and the waste materials will be removed from your body. So it is helpful in different ways and it will keep your body very healthy. And if you drink sufficient water, so most of the diseases will not take place, and this water will protect your body and prevents your body from various diseases. Children, the next topic in our chapter is balanced diet. So what is the diet? So the diet is the food we eat every day is called diet. We will eat different types of food items every day during our breakfast, during our lunch, and during our dinner. Every day we will eat different types of food items. So the food we eat every day is called diet. So children, what is the diet? So diet is the food we eat every day. The food we eat every day is called diet. But what is a balanced diet? So already we have discussed the food we eat every day should contains the substances called nutrients, that is the carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, minerals and roughage. So the food you eat every day should contains all types of nutrients. So then your body will become very strong and healthy. So that food which has all the nutrients in your food is called balanced diet. So children, what is balanced diet? So the balanced diet means, so that diet, that is that food items which contains or which covers all the nutrients, which gives all the nutrients to our body is called a balanced diet. So children, that's why remember, so every day we have to eat a balanced diet. So some persons and some children eat only a same kind of food items or only one kind of food item every day. And some of the children does not like some vegetables. So that's why children, remember, we have to cover all type of vegetables during our lunch and dinner. Then only you will get all types of nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins and minerals. All the nutrients will be supplied to your body if you cover and if you eat all types of vegetables. And if you eat only one type of vegetables and if you like only one type of fruit and one type of vegetables, then the all type of nutrients does not be given to your body. only some of the nutrients will be given to your body, and it will leads to some of the diseases, and it will makes you weak. So children, that's why remember, so you should eat daily that food which gives all type of nutrients to your body. So then that food is called a balanced diet. This balanced diet is very helpful, and it keeps our body very healthy, and becomes our body to grow and strong, and it becomes our body very fit. So child, remember, so this is about a balanced diet. So that's why everybody and every children should drink milk every day, because that milk gives all the nutrients which are required for our body, and that's why the egg will also gives proteins, minerals, and vitamins. So children, remember, daily you have to drink milk, and daily you have to eat at least one egg. So if you cover this milk and egg every day, then most of it will covers all the nutrients required to your body. So children, remember, so you have to eat at least one egg daily, and you have to eat at least 2 glasses of milk during your breakfast. So these food items covers, and these food items gives your body all the type of nutrients, that is carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals required to your body, and keep your body very strong, and keep your body to grow tall and very healthy and very fit. So children, so this is about food. So up to now we have discussed about the nutrients, that is the 6 types of nutrients, that is the carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, roughage. And what are the food items which gives those nutrients, and what is the balanced diet, and what is the use of the balanced diet. Up to now we have learnt in this chapter. Now we are going to the next part in this chapter, that is digestion. So what is the digestion? How our food will be digested, and how we will get energy from the digested food. So children, the next part is digestion. What is the digestion? Every day we will eat different types of food items during our lunch, during our dinner, and breakfast. And all the food items we eat every day will contains fats and proteins, and also oils and carbohydrates. So all the food items daily we eat contains fats, oils, carbohydrates, etc. And those food items are called complex form of food items. So the food items we eat daily contains different types of nutrients, that is fats, oils, and carbohydrates. So if you eat flesh, and if you eat milk, and if you eat meat, that contains fats and oils. If you eat rice and wheat, it contains carbohydrates. If you eat fruits, those contains proteins and vitamins. So these are called. So those food items you eat daily will be in the form of complex form. So that type of substances are called complex form substances, and those are in complex form. And children, so our body should not get the nutrients directly from the complex form of the food items. That means, so we eat different types of food items, and our body cannot be able to get the nutrients directly from this complex form of the substances. So our body can able to absorb the nutrients from the food when only this complex form of the substances are broken down and converted into simpler form. So children, so this complex form of the substances cannot give us nutrients. That's why we have to convert this complex form of the substances into simpler form. Then if you convert your complex form of the substances into simpler form, then our body can absorb the nutrients present in our food items, and those nutrients will be supplied to every part of our body. Then we will get energy. So children, do you understood here? So that is, every day we eat different type of food items. That type of food item is in complex form, and our body cannot able to absorb the nutrients directly from that complex form of the food. So that's why, so these complex food is very larger pieces, then it will be in the larger form, and they cannot, our body cannot get directly nutrients from this complex form. That's why we should convert this complex form of these substances into smaller pieces, that is called simpler form. So if we convert the complex form of these substances into simpler form, then our body can absorb the nutrients from the simpler form of the substance, that is simpler form of the food. So this conversion of food from complex to simpler form is called digestion. Is called digestion. So children, do you understood what is digestion? So digestion means conversion of the food items from complex form to simpler form. That is called digestion. So complex form means the food we eat directly is called complex form, and our body cannot able to absorb the nutrients from the direct to complex form food. First you have to convert the complex form food into simpler form food. So this conversion is called digestion. So children, so let us see how the digestion takes place and how this complex form will be converted into simpler form. So let us see how the food will be digested here. So there will be a system called digestive system in our body to digest our food. That means our digestive system present in our body converts the food in the complex form into simpler form. So children, what the name of that system? So that system is digestive system. So children, so this system which is present in our body and helps to convert our food from complex to simpler form. That means this digestive system will digest the different types of food items we eat daily. So what does the digestive system contains? What are the main parts of the digestive system? So what are the different organs present in the digestive system? So let us see. The first part is our mouth, and next food pipe, and the next one is stomach, and next one small intestine, and the fifth one large intestine. So large intestine, and also there is one more also thing, that is kidneys also there. So children, so these organs are together called digestive system. So our digestive system contains a mouth, food pipe, stomach, small intestine, and a large intestine, and also some pancreas, liver are there in the digestive system. So let us see how the food is converted from complex form to simpler form in the digestive system. So let us see the step-by-step process. The first, we eat food in our mouth first. So we eat food first in our mouth. That means we will chew the food with our teeth. And there in mouth, the food will be mixed with saliva. So children, what is saliva? So it is a colorless liquid which is secreted in our mouth. So that colorless liquid which looks like water is called saliva, and when we chew the food with our teeth, the food will be mixed with the saliva and it will becomes very soft. And children, so what is the next step? The second step is the food from the mouth will enter the stomach through the food pipe. So where is the food pipe? The food pipe will be present in our neck, and the food in the mouth will enter stomach through the food pipe. So whenever the food enters the stomach, then the food will be churned and mashed. The children, in stomach, the food will be churned. That means it is completely mixed thoroughly, and also mashed up to 4 hours. And children, so from there, the next step is from the stomach. So the food will enter a long coiled tube-like structure called small intestine. So children, what is the small intestine? So small intestine is a long coiled tube present in our stomach. It's called small intestine. So from the stomach, the food will enter small intestine, and there in small intestine, the liver and the pancreas will produce some juices. So children, the liver and pancreas. The liver and pancreas will produce some juices. Those juices are called digestive juices. And these juices will mix with the digested food. So these juices will mix with the food and make the food digestion. And these juices are very helpful in digesting the food. And then the small intestine will absorb the nutrients present in the digested food. And those nutrients will mix with the blood, and the blood will carry the nutrients to each part of our body. Then each part of our body will get energy. Children, the undigested food will be sent to another long coiled tube called large intestine. So in large intestine, the large intestine will absorb the water present in the undigested food, and then the water will be sent out or carried to the kidneys. The kidneys will send out the water in the form of urine. So that undigested food which does not contain water will be come out as a stool. So will come out from our body as a stool. So children, you understood? So the process of digestion. So it is a very large process. So that's why our body will call as a wonderful machine. So the food we eat every day will be digested. So with the help of these steps. So children, so this is the process of digestion. So what is the digestion? The conversion of food in complex form to simpler form is called digestion. So how the food will convert from complex to simpler form? So the food will be mixed with some juices, that is called digestive juices, which are produced by liver and pancreas and also saliva. So mixed with different types of juices, and it will convert it into simpler form. So whenever the food is converted into simpler form, that is called digested food. Then our body will directly absorb the nutrients from the digested food. And so that nutrients will be mixed with the blood, and the blood will carry the nutrients to each and every part of our body. Then only our body will get energy. So children, so this is about the digestive system, and this is about digestion. So children, so up to now we have discussed about digestion. Now the next topic is, so what are the good eating habits? So children, up to now we have discussed different types of substances we have to eat daily to keep our body healthy and strong. So those substances are called nutrients. So these nutrients are like carbohydrates, proteins and vitamins and minerals helps our body to grow strong and healthy. So not only eat a balanced diet to keep our body healthy, but also we have to keep we have to follow some good eating habits. So if you not follow good eating habits, then it will also causes a lot of diseases. So even though you are eating daily a balanced diet, and even though you are eating a good food daily, and if you do not follow good eating habits, so it will also causes a lot of diseases to your body. So children, both are very important. That means, so the eating good habit, so not only eating good habits, so you have to follow some good eating habits also. So let us see what are the good eating habits. So if you not follow these good habits, and if you eat a good food daily, so there is no use. Because so eating of a good food without following good eating habits is no use to your body. That's why you have to follow both. That is, you have to eat good food and also you have to follow some good food habits. So both these help your body very healthy and strong. So let us see some of the good eating habits. That is, children, the first one is wash your hands before and after eating meal. So, children, so everyone should follow this daily. So, everyone should follow this. So, wash your hands before and eating meals. So, this is very, very important habit. Everyone should follow this habit. So, because so every day you will do various type of activities, different activities, and you will touch different objects daily with your hand, and your hands may be hands may be in contact with different types of germs and bacteria on your palm. And if you do not wash your hands and if you eat your food without washing your hands, those germs and bacteria will enter your body and causes a lot of diseases. Even though you eat a good food, even though you are eating a balanced diet, and if you do not follow this habit, it will causes a lot of diseases. Children, so next one is eat at fixed timings. Eat at fixed timings. So this is another second important habit, that is eating at fixed timings. So children, so every day you have to follow a fixed timings to eat food. That means you every day you eat a breakfast, lunch and dinner, and fixed timings to each one. So you have to fix a timings morning for breakfast, and you have to fix a timing for lunch during afternoon, and also you have to fix a timing for dinner during night time. So if you do not fix the timings and if you eat the food at different timings at different times every day, it will also causes a lot of digestion problems and leads to some diseases. So children, so learn this habit that eat the food at a fixed times. That is, so eat breakfast every day at 8 o'clock in the morning and eat the lunch every day at 1 o'clock afternoon and eat dinner at 8:30 or 8 p.m. Night during every day. So in this way, you can fix some timings every day. You have to eat that in timings only. And you should not deviate the timings every day. You should strictly follow the timings for eating food. Then only it will keeps and it will help your body and prevent your body from the diseases. And children, the third one is chew the food slowly or chew the food properly. So chew the food properly. So children, so while you are eating food, you should properly chew the food in the mouth with your teeth. So some children and some persons do not chew the food and they will swallow the food quickly. So it is not the right way and it is not the good habit. So first you have to chew the food with your teeth and chew the food slowly. Then only you have to swallow it. And children, another one is do not talk while eating. So do not talk while eating. So children, so it is a bad habit. So some of the children spend their time of eating by chit-chatting or by talking with their friends, and it is not a good habit. So do not talk while eating. So you should not talk with your friends and you should not chit-chat with your friends while eating. And sometimes some of the children, some persons will observe and watch the TV and also they will eat the food. And this is also one of the bad habits. So while you are eating, so you should concentrate on eating only and you should not concentrate on watching TVs and other things. The children remember, so do not talk while eating and do not watch any TVs or cinemas or do not observe anything and do not concentrate on other things while eating. And children, the next one is, so rinse your mouth thoroughly after eating. So rinse your mouth thoroughly. So rinse your mouth thoroughly after eating. So rinse your mouth thoroughly with water after eating. So children, this is also one of the good food habit. So whenever you complete your meals, you should rinse your mouth with water. So this is one of the good habit because so children, while you are eating and while when you completed your eating, so some of the food particles will be stuck in between the gaps of your teeth. And if you do not rinse your mouth with water, those food particles will be remain in that gaps and they will decompose and they will cause damage to your teeth and they will produce a bad smell from your mouth. So children, that's why everybody remember you should rinse your mouth thoroughly with water after a meal. After every meal. So children, so another one is, so children, so eat a lot of vegetable and fruits. So children eat lot of vegetables and fruits. So do not eat only same type of vegetables or only one type of vegetables. We have to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. Then only your body will be given, and then only your body will cover all the type of nutrients. If you eat different types of and if you eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, so this lot of vegetables and fruits will give you all the nutrients required for your body. So that's why every day eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. And next one is children. So eat sufficient. So eat sufficient, but not very less, but not more. So children, the next one is eat sufficient. So whatever food you eat, you should eat the sufficient amount only, but not less, but not more. So but not less and but not more. So children, if you eat the less amount of food you require, it will causes your body very weak. And if you eat more food than you required, then it will causes a laziness and it will causes fat your body. So children, remember, eat sufficient food, whatever you want, and but not eat less food and should not eat more food than required for your body. So remember children, so these are the some good eating habits. You should follow these good eating habits along with the eating of balanced diet. So you have to follow. So both these, that is, so not only eating good food, and you have to follow these good eating habits. So both these keep your body very healthy, strong and fit, and your body will be prevented from various diseases. So children, so this is about the chapter food and digestion. So this is the end of the chapter. In the next chapter will be continued in the next episode. So children, in this chapter we have discussed about a balanced diet and we have discussed the different nutrients that should be contained in our body. So what are the nutrients that should be contained in our body? That is the carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals and roughage. So these are the different nutrients that should be contained in our food, which keeps our body very healthy and strong. And also we have learnt about digestion. So what is the digestion? How the food will be digested and how our body will get nutrients from the digested food. So children, so these are the topics we have covered in this chapter. Now we are enter the activity part. So in the activity part, we will practice different exercises. That is, we will practice questions and answers, and we will practice some fill in the blanks. We will practice some true or false, and also we will practice some matchings, and also some fun activities in the activity part. And children, so we have to note down all these activities. So all the exercises we have to be note down in your notebooks. So it is for your reference and it is very helpful for your. So children, so see the first section in the activity part. So that is section A. Answer these questions. So in this section, they have given some questions. We have to write answers for those questions. So read the first question. What are the nutrients needed by the body? So what are the nutrients needed by the body? Children, look at the answer. The important nutrients that our body needs are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, and roughage. So, children, so these are the nutrients our body are required. So, these are the different nutrients needed by the body. So, every day we will eat different types of food items, and we should take care that, and we should prefer those food items which gives all these nutrients to our body. So if you eat only same type of food, and if you eat every time only one type of vegetables and only one type of fruits, then your body does not get all these type of nutrients. So in order to keep your body very healthy and fit and strong, you have to eat a lot of variety of vegetables and a lot of fruits. Then only your body will get these type of all these type of nutrients. So these help your body to grow very strong and healthy. Children, read the second question. What is the roughage? Name two rich sources of roughage. So what is roughage? Children, read the answer here. Roughage is a food item from plants that contain fiber. Most of the fruits, vegetables, and seeds have fiber. So children, what is roughage? So roughage is also one of the nutrient which can be obtained from the plants. So roughage is also one of the food items. So most of the roughages will be obtained from the plants, and those contains fiber. So the plant, that is the foods which are obtained from the plants, will contain fibers. So this fiber is nothing but called roughage. And most of these fruits and vegetable and seeds have fiber. So children, what is the use of this fiber and roughage? So if you eat those food substances having roughage, then these roughage will helps in proper digestion and helps in easy digestion and helps in removing wastes from our body. So that's why we should take care that the food we eat every day should contain fiber in our food items. So that's why we have to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables every day. So especially the fruits, the vegetables and seeds gives a lot of fiber to your body. That means they will provide a lot of roughage to your body. So it will keeps, that means it will helps in proper digestion, easy digestion, and helps in removing the wastes in our body. So that's why everybody should eat the food that contain roughage, that is fiber. Children, read the third question. What nutrients does our food contain? What nutrients does our food contain? The nutrients that our food contains are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, and roughage. So children, so these are the nutrients that our food contains. So every day we will eat different types of food items. And every day we have to eat that type of food only which covers and which gives all these type of nutrients. So that's why our food should contains so all these type of nutrients. Not the only one type of nutrients or only two types of nutrients. We have to take care that our food we daily eat should contains all these type of nutrients. Then only our body will be keep very healthy and strong, and our body will also grow strong. The children, so note down these questions and answers in your notebook. So children, read the fourth question. That is, what is balanced diet? So what is balanced diet? So the answer for the fourth question is a diet that contains the proper amount of all the nutrients, roughage and water required for good health is called balanced diet. So children, what is diet? First of all, diet means the food every day we eat is called diet. So every day we eat different types of foods. In breakfast, in lunch and dinner. So the food every day we eat is called diet. But what is a balanced diet? So what is balanced diet? So balanced diet means the food or the diet which contains all amounts of, that means the proper amounts of all the nutrients. So the diet which contains the proper amounts of all the nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals and roughage and water required for good health is called a balanced diet. So that's why everyone should eat a balanced diet daily. So that means everybody have to eat the food item which covers and which contains all these nutrients, and the type of balanced food will keeps our body very healthy. Children, read the fifth question. Write any 4 good eating habits. Write any 4 good eating habits. Children, read the answer here. Good eating habits. The first one is washing hands before and after eating. The second one is eating food at a fixed time. And third one is chewing food properly before swallowing it. The fourth one is not talking while eating. And fifth one is rinsing mouth thoroughly after eating. Children, so these are the some good eating habits. So what is the first one here? So everyone should wash your hands before and after taking meal. And second one is eating food at a fixed time. Everybody should take food at a fixed times every day. And we have to follow strictly the timings every day. And we should not deviate the timings. So every day we have to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner at a fixed timings. Strictly we have to follow the timings every day. And we should not eat at random timings or at unequal timings. So that is chewing food properly before swallowing it. So we should chew the food with our teeth thoroughly before swallowing. So some persons and some children, so they just swallow the food without chewing. It is a bad habit. That's why first we have to chew the food properly with our teeth. Then only we have to swallow it. Children, next one is not talking while eating. So we should not talk while eating. So this is one of the good eating habits. So most of the Roman beings and most of the children will talk with their friends and will chit chat with others while eating. So this is not a good habit. Rinsing mouth thoroughly after eating. So everyone should rinse their mouth with water thoroughly after eating, because if you rinse your mouth with water, then the food particles which are stuck in between the gaps of your teeth will be released. That means will be removed, because if you don't rinse your mouth with water, then those particles will be remained at the gaps, in between the gaps of your teeth, and they will decompose and they will damage your teeth and produces bad smell in your mouth. So children, so not only this, there are some more good eating habits, like children, always eat a sufficient amount, that is not less than and not much more than you require. So eat a sufficient amount of food, and you should not eat less amount than you require, and you should not eat more food than you require. So if you eat less food, it will become your body very weak, and if you eat more food than you require, it will become you fat and leads to obesity. Children, so these are some of the good eating habits. So note down these questions and answers in your notebook. So children, the next section in the activity part is complete the sentences. So in this section, they have given 5 sentences. We have to fill the blanks in each sentence with a correct word. So let us read the sentences first. What is the first sentence? Dash provides us energy to perform all activities. And second sentence is dash are known as protective foods. And third one is dash helps to remove waste material out of the body. The fourth sentence is dash and dash give energy to our body. The fifth sentence is dash build our muscles, bones and glands. So children, these are the 4 sentences and look at the answers for these sentences. So children, look at the screen. So here the answers are showing on the screen. So what is the answer for the first sentence? The answer for the first sentence is food. That is, food provide us energy to perform all activities. So all living organisms eat food to get energy. Because so they will do the different activities in our daily life if they have energy. So if they don't have energy, so they cannot do any work in our daily life. So how do they get energy? They get energy from the food. So that's why food provides us energy to perform all activities. And the answer for the second sentence is vitamins. So vitamins are known as protective foods. So children, what are vitamins known as? So vitamins are known as protective foods because so these vitamins will protect our body from so many diseases like eye diseases, skin diseases, and body aches, etc. In this way, these vitamins are helpful to our body in many ways and it will protect our body from different diseases. That's why these vitamins are called as protective foods. And children, the answer for the third sentence is roughage. That is, roughage helps to remove waste material out of the body. So children, what is roughage? So generally roughage is a fiber. That is, roughage is generally a food material which are coming from the plant and contains fibers. So the fiber food materials are called as roughage. So this roughage will also a food which will be obtained from the plants. So what are the examples for the roughage? That means what are the examples for the foods which gives us roughage? For example, are vegetables, fruits and seeds. So the seeds and vegetables and fruits have a lot of fiber in them. And this roughage helps our to remove waste material out of the body. And this roughage helps in proper digestion and also helps in easy digestion. And this roughage and the food material will remove the waste material out of the body. That's why everybody should eat that food only which contains proper amounts of the fiber. And the answer for the fourth sentence is carbohydrates and fats. So carbohydrates and fats give energy to our body. So children, so which nutrients give us energy? So generally carbohydrates and fats give us energy. That's why these carbohydrates and fats are called energy giving foods, because they give a lot of energy to our body. And whereas fats also give warmth, that is heat energy to our body. These fats keep our body warm. So that's why these carbohydrates and fats are give energy to our body. Children, so the answer for the fifth sentence is minerals. So minerals build our muscles, bones and glands. So minerals are very important to our body, and these minerals will help our body to function normally. And also these minerals are helpful for the development of teeth, bones and new blood cells, and also in the development of glands and muscles. So that's why everybody should eat those food items which gives minerals. That means everybody have to drink milk and also vegetables and fruits. All these food items gives minerals to our body. Children, so note down these sentences in your note. So children, the next section in the activity part is C, that is section C. Write one use for each of the following. So children, in this section, so they have given 6 types of nutrients, and now we have to write the use, that is each use. We have to write one use of each 6 nutrients. So what is the first one? Carbohydrates. Second one is proteins. Third one is fats. Fourth one is vitamins. Fifth one is minerals. And the sixth one is roughage. So children, now here we have to write the uses of these nutrients. So let us see the answers for these words. So children, so here the answers are shown on the screen. So let us see the answer for the first one, that is carbohydrates. So what is the use of carbohydrates? So carbohydrates provide us energy to do work. So that's why these carbohydrates are called as energy giving foods, because they will give energy to our body to do work. So examples for the carbohydrates are, so generally the rice, wheat and also sugar, honey, bread, all these food items contains a lot of carbohydrates. And the answer for the second sentence, proteins, is helps in bodybuilding. So that's why proteins are called bodybuilding foods, because they help our body to grow tall and strong. And examples for the foods which contain proteins are fish, eggs, milk, and beans, soya beans, nuts. So all these foods gives us proteins. So, and these proteins helps in bodybuilding. That's why proteins are very much essential for the small young babies and kids, because so they have to eat proteins very much to build their body, to grow very tall and to grow their body. And the uses for the third one is fats. provide energy and warmth. So children, the fats are also called as energy giving foods. And also, so along with energy, the fats will also give us heat. So that's why they will keep our body warm. So that's why the fats will keep our body warm. So these fats also gives energy like carbohydrates. And children, so for the use of fourth one, that is vitamins. So the use of vitamins is keeps us healthy and protect from diseases. So these vitamins keeps us healthy and protect from diseases. So children, that's why vitamins are called as protective foods. Because these protective foods, these vitamins protects our body and prevent our body from various diseases like eye diseases and skin diseases and body aches. So all these will be prevented and by the vitamins. That's why every day we have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. So in order to get vitamins to our body, and every day we have to drink milk, we have to eat chicken and fish. So all these gives us vitamins, and these keep us healthy and protect from diseases. And the fifth one is minerals. So what is the use of minerals? So helps in growth and development of bones, teeth, and new blood cells. So children, what is the use of minerals? So generally, minerals are also very helpful in the development of our body, especially in the development and growth of our bones, teeth, and also new blood cells. And also these minerals helpful in the development of some glands also. So children, that's why everybody should eat the food items which gives us minerals. An example for those food items are, that is fruits and vegetables and pearls, that is grains. Children, the sixth one is roughage. What is roughage? Helps in easy digestion and removal of waste from our body. So this roughage is nothing but food items which are obtained from the plant. And these are also called as fibers. So that's why we should eat the food item which contain the proper amounts of the fiber. So we have to eat those food items which contains the roughage. And examples for the food items which gives us roughage are fruits, vegetables, and seeds. And this roughage helps in easy digestion and also removal of waste from our body. So that's why everybody have to eat those food items which gives us fibers and also roughage. So children, so note down these in your notebook. So children, see the next section in the activity part, that is match the following. So children, here, so they have given some nutrients on the left side and they have given some names of the food items which gives those nutrients on the right side. So let us read the nutrients which are given on the left side. The first one is carbohydrates and the second one is fats. Third one is proteins. Fourth one is vitamins and minerals. And fifth one is roughage. And the names of the food items given on the right side are, the first one fibers, second one is fish, third one is potato, fourth one is butter, and the fifth one is spinach. So now we have to match these nutrients with their corresponding food items. So let us see the answers for the matching. So we have to write the correct food item in the bracket given against the nutrients. See the answer for the first one. So the carbohydrates. So which food item contains carbohydrates? The third food item. So what is the third one? Potato. The potato contains carbohydrates. They give us energy. And the second percent, that is the answer for the second one, fats, is 4. So which food item contains fats? The fourth one. What is the fourth one here? The butter will contain fats. And the answer for the third one is proteins is 2. So which food item contains proteins? So which food item gives us proteins? The second food item gives us proteins, that is fish. And next one, vitamins and minerals. So which food item gives vitamins and minerals? The fifth one. So what is the fifth one here? Spinach. So here the spinach gives us vitamins and minerals. In children, so fifth one is roughage. So which food item gives us roughage? That is the first one, fibers. The fibers gives us roughage. So children, so this is the matching and how to write the answers in the matching. So note down this matching in your notebook. Children, the next part in our activity is put these. So children, read the question here. Put these parts of the digestive system in the correct order. Children, what is the name of this system? We have discussed in the chapter about this system. So what is the name of this system? So the picture shows the digestive system. They have given the picture of the digestive system. And now what we have to do here? So we have to locate. The parts. So we have to locate these parts in this digestive system. So what are the parts we have to locate here? We have to locate the stomach, and we have to locate anus, food pipe, large intestine, mouth, and small intestine in this digestive system. So we have discussed in the chapter about each one. So what is stomach do and what is anus do? So what is the purpose of food pipe? And what is the purpose of large intestine? And what is the purpose of small intestine? So now we have to locate these parts in this digestive system. So children, so look at the picture. So they have given the answers. So children, so the first one is mouth. So children, where is the mouth here? Here, this is the mouth. So this is the mouth. So this is the first part, mouth. And the second one is the food pipe. So where is the food pipe? So children, so if you observe the picture, you are observing two pipes, and this pipe which have lines and it is called air pipe, and you are observing a small pipe behind it, it is called food pipe. So this is called food pipe. And the third one is stomach. So where is the stomach? So this is called stomach. So all this large intestine and small intestine and this is called stomach. And where is the small intestine? So children, so here you are observing two types of intestine. So one is very wide coiled tube, and you are observing another one, a thin coiled tube inside it. This thin coiled tube inside it is called small intestine, and the large coiled tube is called large intestine. And where is the anus here? So this is called anus. So from this part anus, the waste undigested food will be come out from our body. So children, so these are the various parts in our digestive system. So we eat food in our mouth, and from there the food entered stomach through the food pipe, and from the stomach it will enter the small intestine. So in the small intestine, so it will absorb the nutrients in the digested food, and the undigested food will be sent to large intestine, and there the water in the large intestine will be absorbed by the large intestine, and the undigested food will be come out from the anus, and the water from the undigested food will be sent to kidneys, which send out that waste water in the form of urine. So these are the different parts in the digestive system. So children, so let us see a fun activity in this activity part. So read the what is the fun activity. Take some balanced diet to school. Arrange it on the table neatly. Show it to your teacher before you eat. So children, so here is it is the fun activity. So now the task is you have to take some balanced diet to your school. Balanced diet means so that diet, that is the food which contains all types of nutrients. The food which contains all types of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals. So you have to take those food items which covers all the 6 types of nutrients to your school, and show and arrange the food items on the table and show it to your teacher before you eat. So children, so look at the answer. So what food item you can take to the school? So what food item you can take to the school to show your teacher? So that one is you have to take grains, that is rice or wheat. Any one of you have to take grains, and also you have to take seeds, some seeds, and also you have to take some nuts like cashew nuts, peanuts or walnuts. So any one of you have to take, and also you have to take starch. That means children, so that is butter or cheese. So that means you have to take any one of these. And also you have to take beans and lentils and vegetables and fruits. So if you take so these food items to your school, so these food items total together called balanced diet, because the grains contains carbohydrates and the seeds contains roughage, nuts contains fats, and this starch contains also carbohydrates, and also beans and lentils contains proteins and vitamins, and vegetables also contains minerals. These fruits also contains vitamins. So if you take all these type of food items to your school, so this food will be called as balanced diet, because this food contains all types of nutrients. So children, so note down this in your notebook and try to do this fun activity in your school. So children, so up to we have shown a vegetarian food of the balanced diet. Here a non-vegetarian food is also given which covers all the nutrients. So you can take some meat, that is the flesh of hen or goat, that is chicken or mutton, and that is here fish. You can take also fish because fish contains proteins, vitamins, and also some minerals, and you can take eggs also. So this is the non-vegetarian food you can take to school, which is also called a balanced diet. So note down this in your notebook. So this is a non-vegetarian food which covers all the nutrients. So children, there is another fun activity in this chapter, that is prepare a model of digestive system and place it in your class. So children, it is a very interesting and it is a project. So this will, you can do this as a project. So by using some materials, low cost, no cost materials, you have to make a model of digestive system. So how can you make? So let us see. So how can you make the model of digestive system? So first you have to make the mouth, large intestine, small intestine, and stomach, and also liver, pancreas. We have to make these parts with low cost, no cost materials, or you can make with the help of cardboard also. First you have to prepare the organs of the digestive system with the help of a cardboard and arrange them in an order. Then you will get the model of the digestive system. So children, so you can practice this as a project work. So note down this in your notebook. So children, next one, glossary. So here they will give some hard words and their meanings. So here the hard words means, so these are the words which you feel difficulty in this chapter. So here they have given the words and their meanings. The first word is substance. That is a type of solid, liquid or gas that has particular qualities. So what is substance? The substance may be a type of solid, liquid or gas that has a particular qualities. And what is the next one? Nutrient. So what is nutrient? A substance that is needed to keep a living thing alive and to help it to grow. So nutrients are those substances which are needed to keep a living thing alive and to help it to grow. So these nutrients will help the body of the living things to grow and to become alive. And next one is gland. So what is gland? An organ in a person's or an animal's body that produces a substance for the body to use. So there are some glands in our body. So these glands are helpful to our body and they will produce some juices and they produce some liquids which helps in the various activities that are carried inside our body. Next, saliva. So children, what is saliva? The liquid that is produced in your mouth that helps you to swallow food. So children, what is saliva? So generally, whenever you are chewing the food in your mouth, then there will be some glands called salivary glands which are present at the bottom of our tongue. And these salivary glands will produce a colorless liquid which is called saliva. So while we are chewing the food with our teeth, the food will be mixed with the saliva and becomes soft. So the saliva makes the food very soft. So children, so this is called saliva, the liquid that is produced in our mouth that helps you to swallow the food. Next, what is the swallow? To make food, drink, etc. go down your throat into your stomach. So swallow means to make the food we eat in our mouth to go down into our stomach through the food pipe. So through the throat into your stomach is called shallow swallow. And what is the next word? Intestine. So children, what is intestine? A long tube in the body between the stomach and the anus. So intestines are a long coiled tubes. So already we have observed the picture of digestive system. So in that digestive system you have observed some coiled like tubes. So that coiled like tubes present in the body, in the stomach and between the stomach and anus are called intestine. So children, these are some hard words given in the glossary and their meanings. So note down these words and meanings in your So children, so these are the different exercises in the activity part of this lesson and I hope that you have noted down all these exercises in your notebook and practice those exercises at your home thoroughly. So this is the end of this chapter and next chapter will be continued in the next episode.